I'm Shalane, this is Dean, and we are
Grassroots Living.
And this is how we live our love. Okay, so we are here today at Grand Portage National Monument. Very cool place. It's actually sectioned off into about three different sections. And the first one is kind of dedicated to the Ojibwe tribe, right, that was here. And we have a little bit of an explanation of that from a sweet volunteer worker. So let's see what he has to say about that.
Welcome to the Ojibwe village. Behind me we have the teepee style cone lodge. It's poles covered with birch bark. And when they were moving, they would remove the weight logs off of it, roll up the birch bark, take it with them, and leave the cones there so that next year when they come, they'll be there again. Moved every 3 to 4 months, following the harvest of the rice, the large animals, the moose, the elk, the deer. And then in the spring they'd come back and harvest the maple sugars. All these were for trades with the people here at the Portage. We're actually on the Ojibwe reservation. This property is owned by the Ojibwe.
Okay, so next is the area where they talk about the boats and the canoes and the mode of travel and transportation around here, which is the whole reason why Grand Portage exists, was because they had to transport goods. So Dean's going to tell you a little bit about that.
We have you in the canoe making area, and voyagers without these canoes could maybe travel 15 to 20 miles a day in the wilderness, carrying with them 180 pounds on their back. With these canoes, this kind of gives you an idea, they could travel maybe 60 to 80 miles a day and carry much more with them. So this is the reason why they had such an extensive fur trading industry in the latter part of the 1700s, the early part of the 1800s. They needed 3 specific types of trees: spruce, cedar, and birch. And with those 3 things, which are all miraculously found only in one region of the United States, that's here on the North Shore, they were able to put these things together. Right here, there's a latch. You'll have to look. So it's latched to the sides, and that's what holds the the bark in place so that these slats, as you go across to the other side, so those slats will kind of put pressure on the outside where this is putting pressure on the inside. Amazing. And this particular canoe is capable of holding 4 tons of goods. 4 tons, 8,000 pounds. So all this that's here in this corner is what they would put on something like this as they were trading their goods.
So it will hold all of this. This
It
is
will
all
hold
one
all
load
of this.
for this particular canoe. Okay, now in the final section we have the kitchen, outdoor kitchen, indoor kitchen, the great hall. This is where most of the goings-on went on, right? So you guys are gonna see all of that. You're gonna see the bread oven that they used, and like I said, the kitchen and the great hall where all of the, basically all the business, right? The business took place. So let's enjoy that.
The oven would be filled with wood and heated up with a big fire in there for about 3 hours. Then they would sweep all of that out or get it out with this kind of rake looking thing. And they could bake loaves of bread in there for hours after they had heated it up. That's a door right there that you would put. It fits right in that opening. And that's how they made bread, and they could make many loaves a day. They probably had a couple of ovens like this though, because they had to make thousands of loaves of bread during the short time they were here. They'd also cook on the fire, like with a tripod over the fire like that, or nestling cast iron into the fire itself.
And by the way, just so you know, I looked all over for a song for this video about fur traders and Indians, or voyagers and Indians. And what do I get? Cowboys and Indians. Lots of songs about cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
No voyagers and Indians.
We could play cowboys and Indians, spin round and round in a rain dance, wrestle them big longhorns all across the Badlands. And we sleep under open skies, stars reflecting in our eyes, while Bill and Tiger Lily holding hands. Jesse James and Pocahontas in a wild romance, cowboys and Indians, cowboys and Indians, cowboys and Indians.
All right, so in 1803, this all ended. And ironically, you know, as we're just a few miles from the Canadian border, and the border has been closed to non-essential business, well, that's what closed this down. Was the Canadian-United States border was established, and they said, you know what, we're not going to go back and forth across the border and have to deal with all that. So they just moved their location up. I guess they combined together with the Hudson Bay group and just moved their location entirely into Canada because of the problems they were having crossing the border.
Right, citizenship and licensing and import duties, that was all a thing back then, just like it is now. And so that's what kind of shut it all down. And then in 1958, the Chippewa actually donated the land, let's see, Band of Chippewa donated the land that became the National Monument that same year. And then written accounts and archaeological excavations provided information and reconstruction. So, wish I could memorize all that, but I can't, and it's cool, and I wanted to tell you about it. This place has just been, well, we love history. So it's been a really cool place, and we hope you enjoy these little video clips, and it encourages you, if you have a chance to come here or to go someplace near you. We all have like historical sites near us, and it's really fun to go to these places and learn about these things.
It certainly is.
So,
I know, like I said, I taught history for several years, so it's great to actually see the textbooks come alive. So I would encourage all parents that have children, get out and see these things.
yeah.
So that when they hear about it in a textbook or from a teacher, it'll actually make more sense to them.
And to the volunteers that are going to show up on this little video, thank you. We appreciate ya. Okay, are we done?
Including including Bob.
Bob.
And she
Thanks,
said, is that going
Bob.
to be B-O-B? And he said, well, actually it's backwards from what you just said. So think about it.
Right. So Bob. Thanks, Bob. Okay, so we have a lot of great stuff coming up, but until next week, this is Grassroots Living reminding you to get down to the grassroots of what makes you happy and live your love.
We're thinking of you, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Like this, they probably had several of them because they baked thousands of loaves of bread during a couple of weeks they were here in the summer. And they would also cook over the fire, or this morning I cooked in the fire and messed up my